Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, what do you mean you lost RT1? The professor who wanted Chrome. I love it when they threaten to figure it out for themselves. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. What do you mean you lost RT1? I mentioned this in a comment and decided that I'd write up what happened as best I can remember it. Many moons ago, I worked for a North American copy/print company. This takes place sometime in 1998, back when home internet was rare, smartphones didn't exist, and I was a young college student managing the computer section of the copy/print store I was at. The company had recently replaced our ISDN lines with 2 bands of T1 for data. That was a rather fun project since I got to help rack the SSR 2000 and other network equipment I had never seen before. One day the internet just stops working, people are paying to use our computers to write papers, print things out, and go onto the new and scary World Wide Web. I looked into our network closet and DOS blinking lights are blinking, so I call our help desk. They can't do much at level 1, but they get all of the info and escalate it. A day later I get a call from either someone who's L2 or NOC, I can't remember. We do some simple ping and trace tests. The internal network is fine as I can print to our network printers and can ping them, I just can't get out of the building. More info is collected and I hang up. The lack of internet access was starting to become a problem. Part of our business was document creation. People would pay us to make flyers and the like, except we didn't do it locally. We'd fax or email the order info to our in-house team to do all the work, and they'd drop it on an FTP for us to retrieve. I, being the techie kind of person, had a computer at home and very slow DSL. So in a giant violation of privacy, I would log into the FTP at home, burn everything to a CD, and bring it to the store when I started at 2 p.m. A week or so goes by and we don't have internet and I haven't heard anything new. Then I get a call from someone in IT at the corporate office. The company had a national account with the big yellow provider. Then the usual last mile copper arrangements for each site. The entire week was Big Yellow arguing with the Death Star on where the problem was. Until Big Yellow figured out what happened. Somewhere, someone lost or misplaced or failed entirely to properly list our circuit. Someone up the street from us had put in an order for a circuit and Big Yellow, finding an active, but unlisted circuit, terminated it. So the circuit was cut off from us and released to a local net cafe up the street. A ETA of 2 weeks was given to get a new circuit activated for us. We ended up not having internet at the store for close to a month. I imagine a head somewhere rolled. Copy/print had I think 500 plus locations across the US at the time, and almost every location had been upgraded to the T1. My manager at the time got to be on a conference call with our corporate and Big Yellow's corporate, and we were credited 3 months of service to make up for the lost sales after he raised a stink. A week after the circuit went live again, I got a call from the account manager at Big Yellow apologizing for the problem. The professor who wanted Chrome. There is an unfair stereotype in university IT that the older the professor, the worse they are at technology. This is entirely untrue, because absolutely nothing seems to correlate with how comfortable a professor is with technology: age, intelligence, diligence, and certainly not degree. I've observed a slight statistical correlation with the field they're in, but it's shaky at best. So, I try not to judge anyone until I've seen them actually at a machine. But on one particular occasion, I regret to say I fell prey to assumptions. We had received word that a new professor was starting, and they actually stopped by to introduce themselves to our team, which, if you want good service from IT, boy is that a way to leave an impression. They were young, humble, and they just emitted this impression of intelligence, all the signs of a user we could give a computer to and never see again, which is just how IT likes it. And on top of this, when we asked if they had any special requests for what they wanted on their machine, they specifically asked for Chrome. My estimation of their ability went sky high. I had dreams of future tickets, easily resolved, aided by their wonderful ability to assist with troubleshooting. That is, until the day they got their new computer and reported their first ticket, they still wanted Chrome installed. I was, frankly, baffled. Not only was Chrome set to the default browser on our image, I had taken an extra step to log in as the user and put the icon on a prominent position on their desktop, since they had specially requested it. It could not be any more installed. But weirder things have happened before. Maybe some serious problem had happened with their new machine and Chrome was somehow deleted. I was so baffled that I asked if I could see the machine in person, and they brought it by right away. I watched as the user did the following. Log in, click on the Chrome icon on their desktop, successfully opening Chrome. There were no triumphant sounds of understanding or a sheepish apology. Instead, they kept going. Now, Google likes to change up the contents of the default tab when you open Chrome. This particular design prominently featured a button saying something like "Learn more about what you can do with Chrome." The professor continued. Click on Learn more about Chrome. Click the link, download Chrome. Pointed say, see. It says that you still need to download Chrome. I admit, troubleshooting this problem had me stumped. Eventually, I managed to convince the professor that if they visited literally any other site on the internet, they would be just fine. They went away satisfied. That afternoon I started to write a feedback email to Google. Bug found. User can still navigate to install Chrome page even if Chrome installed. But, ultimately I decided against sending it. It was out of the ticket scope anyway. Ticket closed. I love it when they threaten to figure it out for themselves. Caller, I'm looking in my Outlook and a bunch of my emails are missing. Me, okay, I'm looking at your Outlook data file, and it's really large. As that file grows larger and larger, the chances for corruption increase. Short term, we can scan and repair it. For a long-term fix, I recommend archiving old email to reduce the size of that PST file. Remember, we talk about this about once a year, and you say you hate archiving and you never want to do it because you lose emails. Caller, we've never talked about this before. Me, yep, every time you have an Outlook problem. Caller, well, can you tell me how to archive my old email? Me, do you still have the notes I asked you to take last time? Caller, you have never told me about this. Me, I have, repeatedly, for years. I'll be happy to step you through the process, but please take notes so you can refer to them in the future. Caller, forget it. I'll just figure it out on my own. Me, I wouldn't recommend that. There are some default settings you have to change, otherwise Outlook will slow way down. Caller, I'll figure it out. Click.